What color you want, baby? What color do you want? We're talking about custom. You cannot get custom out of a catalog. You can't get custom from me. You can't get custom anywhere but from you. Custom is hard. Custom is a big deal because you're saying, think about this. When you start talking about colors and paint codes, there are so many colors that the OEM manufacturers through the years have created. Now think about all these modern companies and all these colors. So we start talking about painting a car, it's very, very difficult. So the first thing you do is you say, you know what? I want an original color. No matter who you are, I want an original color on a car. That's an easy choice because we don't get to make any decisions. Because we choose exactly what the OEM manufacturer said for their car and we live with the results. But then when you choose to go custom, it's a little bit different. And there's a process. So there's two ways if you're listening at home and you want to do a custom car. And let me be the first one to tell you, if you're doing a resto mod, I like getting away most times from the original color because I like sending a message to the consumer or throughout the market that, you know what, this car a little bit different. It ain't what you think it is. It's similar, but it's a little bit different. So I like subtle changes on the original color, and I like just flipping and going with a totally different color, having fun with your car. But there are two ways to do it if you want to go custom. The first way is we're gonna backlog the recipe of what we put in this paint, and there's a lot of processes to putting it together. So we're gonna make 4 ounces of this one, 4 ounces of this one, 4 ounces of that one, 4 ounces of that one. We're gonna go through the process and write down everything we put in this one, write down everything we put in this one, write down everything we put in this one. And a lot of times we'll start with some bases. We'll start, okay, we like this formula, let's add to it. We like this formula, add to it. But we have to document what we added. And that's just a whole chemical formulation process. Boy, I feel like I'm in science class again. You know what I mean? And then we present, we do spray out cars. We put on a spray out car. We put a clear on it. But not only that, we got to put down the right sealer that we're going to use so that it has the right hue and all that kind of thing. And then we're going to put the base, and then we're going to put the clear. And we're going to do that multiple times. And normally we'll each round of pictures or each round of color swatches, it's probably going to be anywhere from 3 to 5. If we give you more than 5, you normally can't handle the chores. And if we give you less than 3, you feel like you don't have a choice. So a lot of times we'll find that sweet spot and give you like 4. If that's not acceptable, then we do another round. And we keep doing that round until we get there. But prior to getting there, you know, I'm in Spring, Texas, and this right here is the design studio. So we have all kind of swatches. You know, if you want interior, that's just one swatch. And this brand here is Keystone. Keystone Brothers, I like that. They have partners in that. I like what they do. Well, here's a whole nother brand here. You know, beautiful material. This is more in Giles. Really, I mean, look at that. Look at that color that way, man. I love that color. Keystone, I'm gonna have that. I like. You can look through the book. They ain't got that color. So it's a beautiful color. And there's Miami Corporation. There are tons, and we got them all the way back. I mean, look at it, all the way back. There's so many different choices. What about carpet? Man, there's so many choices even with carpet. And again, this is one manufacturer. There are so many color choices that you can choose. And so it's infinite. It's a big wide world. So whenever you're doing custom, I always advise a client to find a point of reference, to find you a model, to find you an example of what you think you want. So you get an example, a clear, proven example of what you think you want, and then you pivot off that. But be prepared. That's an involved process, the time that's involved. Sometimes in choosing on the right color, man, you can have a couple $1,000 just invested in, oh, that's the color I want, because all those rounds and all that product that you got to buy, it doesn't take long to add up, especially when you're using high-end color. And especially if you're doing vibrancy, which is even more higher end, and you want different samples and all of that, it's just a process. But we do what we have to do to make the clients, I wish I had some of those pillows here we make. They probably have them in the back. But we make pillows, and we give clients pillows to let them see the different texture, different things. All right, but another thing you can do, so these are shades of green. Now, this is the BMW chip book. It's number 3, and it's not going to be much green in here, but see, See that little bit there? It ain't much. It ain't much. You say, well, that ain't it. Well, we're going to put BMW up. No problem. So then you say, let me go to GM. Now, GM going to have some green. Y'all already know that. Look at all that. Look at all that green. Look at all that. All these are shades of green. And you got to look at them in the sun. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, you see how different they are? They're all different shades of green. But what I'm trying to get at is sometimes this is the best way to find your custom color. Because you're not finding a custom color in the sense that no one else in the world has that color. You're saying that you're taking a color that was originally designed for a totally different make and model, and you're placing that color on your car. Chrysler, same thing here. You're going to find that most of the American companies, they're going to have a lot of greens. You're going to see a lot of shades. So if you look at this, this is shades of green. Now, if I go to, let's say I go to Porsche. Porsche is probably going to have yellow, green. One of the chip books like this, they may only have 2 green choices. It might be that's their whole green. And all this is a whole nother color. So it depends on which manufacturer you choose. So, all right, this is Volkswagen. Again, there's some greens in there. And so this is a way, this is just green. If you want it red, there's a red chip book. If you want it yellow, there's a yellow chip book. If you want it gray, there's a gray chip book. So we're at Toyota here, and it's mixed in. See how Toyota is mixed in they're mixing those grays in there as well. So they're mixing their colors. They're not going to have as many greens, but sometimes you can reach across the landscape to another manufacturer and you can find your color. And this is a process. One of the hardest things to do is to determine what material do you want on your car. It's hard. It's difficult. You know, are we going to make the seats out of this material or that material? Or what about that one? Look, you can barely see the difference. I don't even know if this camera can pick that up. I mean, the differences are subtle. Look at that. Look at that. Look how subtle that difference is. And it keeps going. Look at that now. Those two are pretty close. They're different, but they're close. And we have a lot of problem with the grays. You know, I have to make the guys in the upholstery room, man, label that. Look at that. Man, label it. Because sometimes it's the texture. Sometimes one is smooth. It's the same color, but then the texture will be different, so it'll lay differently. And those subtle things will create a problem. The other thing is, and I don't want to go too far off the tangent, but when I'm making a interior, I'm going to order all my hides at once. And I'm going to order probably at least a hide and a half, probably a half a hide more than I think I need, because I want to make sure I don't run out. Because the way these dyes run and the way the factories run, man, it depends on what run you got. You know, the run, they probably wouldn't agree with me. But if you've been in this design game, automotive, for a while, you realize that the color gray in January 2020, and that same one in July 2022, it might not be the same gray. It's real close, but it's subtly off. And when you're spending lots of money on your car and you have that perfect flavor in your mouth, you want it perfect. Now the paint color is a little bit different because we mix it in the house. There's a recipe. If I give you the recipe, it doesn't matter whether I make it here in Houston, Texas, or you make it where you are. The recipe is different. But a lot of times, this is the most effective way for most individuals to spend time going through your chip book. So whoever your paint professional is, ask them to give you the chip book. And that chip book, if you can't find it in that chip book, only then do you want to cross the bridge of custom. Because what you don't want to do, you don't want to pay for a custom color, and when you really boil it down, it's a Toyota Cypress 2006 green 6T7. I mean, you don't want to spend all that money, and it's right here. So that's what you want to do first, and when you're choosing your color. Now, what about hides? Can you make the perfect hide? Yes. Can you make a custom color? Yes. What about carpets? Can you get a custom color? Yes. There are levels to restoration. There are levels to this game. There's different price points to this game. But I encourage you as a consumer, if you're looking for something different, begin by reaching across the aisle away from your current OEM manufacturer and find a manufacturer that has that same shade, that same color. Maybe they have it on a modern car, and you take that color, put it on your car. It will change the eyes. It will change the touch point of your presentation, and it will be show-stopping good. And if that doesn't work, get ready for custom.